The day Lewandowski made history by scoring 5 goals in just 9 minutes was one of the most extraordinary feats in football history. This happened on September 22nd, 2015, in a Bundesliga match between Bayern Munich and Wolfsburg. Bayern, led by Pep Guardiola, boasted a powerhouse lineup with stars like Neuer, Boateng, Vidal, Xabi Alonso, Müller, and Robert Lewandowski, a player capable of incredible feats when inspired. Wolfsburg, coached by Hecking, also had strong players like Luis Gustavo, Dante, Dost, Ricardo Rodriguez, and their key player, Julian Draxler. Winning this game was crucial for Bayern to stay on top of the league and a chance for Lewandowski to stun the world with his football skills. When the referee blew the whistle to start the game, Lewandowski began on the bench. Bayern was the first to strike with an attack as Douglas Costa took the ball forward. He cut inside to create space in the opposing defense and fired a shot from outside the area. However, despite the bold attempt, the shot lacked power, allowing the rival team's keeper to make an easy save. A few minutes later, Bayern won a free kick in the attacking half, and Xabi Alonso positioned himself to take it. As soon as the referee signaled, Xabi opted for a kick that ended up more like a cross. The opposing goalkeeper, without any trouble, caught the ball, thwarting Bayern's attempt. On the other side, Draxler was eager to showcase his skills. Around the 10-minute mark, the German ace displayed his technical prowess by smoothly dribbling past Vidal in midfield and masterfully passing the ball. Vidal seemed not to take kindly to that, and at the 12th minute, he retaliated by launching an offensive for Bayern, dribbling past a marker and attempting a long-range shot. However, the power of the shot was overdone, and the ball soared high, going over the cross. A few minutes later, Bayern attacked again, this time with Thomas Müller trying a bold shot from outside the area. Although the shot was powerful, it lacked accuracy and went directly out, crossing the goal line. At the 18th minute, Bayern kept pressing, with Douglas Costa making a slick play, exchanging passes with a teammate, getting the ball back, and firing a shot from outside the area. But the opposing goalkeeper was more than ready and made an excellent save, denying the goal. Up to that point, Bayern was dominating the game, but Draxler decided to step up and help his team change the course of the game. Around the 25th minute, Wolfsburg regained possession in defense and quickly launched a counterattack with a long ball forward. Draxler then received the ball and showcased his technical skill by sending an excellent lob pass to Caligiuri in the box. After expertly controlling the ball, Caligiuri wasted no time and unleashed an extremely powerful and accurate shot towards the goal. The shot was so forceful that it overcame the reflexes of the experienced keeper Neuer, and the ball bulged the back of the net with force. This first goal for Wolfsburg in the game, thanks to a masterful assist from Draxler, was enthusiastically celebrated by the players, now leading against a powerhouse like Bayern at the Allianz Arena. Meanwhile, Lewandowski continued to sit on the bench, eager to get into the match. At the 29th minute, Bayern tried to respond with Götze, advancing down the left and skillfully pulling off a slick dribble to beat the first defender. However, another marker came in with a stronger challenge and brought him down, committing a foul. Xabi Alonso positioned himself to take the free kick, sending a precise cross into the area. The opposing defense initially managed to clear the ball, but the rebound went straight to Douglas Costa. He didn't hesitate and took the ball first time, firing a powerful and accurate shot towards the goal. The Wolfsburg keeper, extremely alert, responded with a spectacular save, carrying the ball away from danger. At the 32nd minute, Wolfsburg reacted with Draxler receiving the ball on the left wing and pushing forward on the attack. He performed a step over, baffling the defender and creating space to fire a shot at goal. Despite the shot's good power and accuracy, the Bayern keeper was well positioned and made a secure save. The pressure of the game was clearly worrying Guardiola, who saw his team heading towards a home defeat. The situation got even more complicated at the 37th minute when the Wolfsburg keeper initiated a quick attack with a long kick forward. Bayern's keeper, Neuer alert, came out of his goal to intercept the ball. However, he failed to control it in midfield, leaving the goal unprotected. In this critical moment, Gilavogi saw the perfect chance and attempted an audacious long-range shot. The hearts of Bayern fans stopped as the ball hit the post and went out, narrowly avoiding what would have been a spectacular goal. Shortly after, the referee blew the whistle to start the second half, with Lewandowski finally entering the game. Now, with the Polish star in the game, things were about to change. Right at the 50th minute, Bayern launched a blistering attack with Müller advancing on the right. Under intense pressure, he managed to keep possession, passing it to a teammate before dashing into the box to receive the return pass. Upon reaching the box, Müller regained the ball, but was quickly dispossessed by an opposing defender. However, the ball ended up at the feet of Lewandowski, who was strategically positioned. With a decisive touch, he directed the ball toward the goal. The opposing keeper was completely caught off guard by Lewandowski's cunning and couldn't position himself up in time to make the save, resulting in the ball bulging the net. Lewandowski's goal triggered an explosion of joy from both him and the fans filling the stadium, electrified to see their team snatch a thrilling draw. Lewandowski was determined to turn the game around no matter what. Immediately after the game restarted, Bayern intercepted a pass from the opponent and launched a spectacular counterattack. Lewandowski, leading the charge, skillfully created space between the defenders and unleashed an audacious shot from outside the area. With incredible precision, the ball found the corner of the goal, leaving the opposing keeper with no chance to save it. This second goal for Bayern, scored within such a short interval, made the stadium erupt in intense joy. The ecstatic fans celebrated Lewandowski's brilliance, who, after coming on, quickly turned the game around, displaying exceptional skill and a killer instinct in front of goal. His performance was outstanding, elevating the atmosphere of the game to an electrifying level. But Lewandowski wasn't satisfied. He wanted more. As the clock approached the 54th minute, Bayern orchestrated a coordinated attack, initiated by a perfect pass from Vidal to Muller on the front line. Under intense pressure from defenders inside the box, Muller managed to pass the ball to Götze on the right, who promptly sent it to Lewandowski on the left. Finding himself isolated face-to-face with the goalkeeper, Lewandowski didn't hesitate and unleashed a powerful shot toward the goal. Unfortunately, the ball hit the post, but luckily for Lewandowski, it bounced right back to him. Without missing a beat, he attempted another shot, which the keeper saved, but the ball stubbornly returned once again. On the third try, with determination, Lewandowski finally managed to send the ball into the back of the net. At that moment, the stadium erupted in euphoria. The players ran to embrace Lewandowski in a frenzied celebration, and even coach Pep Guardiola joined in the jubilation. Lewandowski's hat trick, achieved in just 4 minutes, was an unprecedented feat, marking a truly historic moment in football. But Lewandowski wanted to set a record. Just 2 minutes after the third goal, at the 56th minute, Bayern set up another devastating attack. Douglas Costa exploded down the left flank, surpassing opponents with dazzling speed, creating enough space to deliver a precise cross into the area. Against all odds, Lewandowski, always alert and well-positioned, seized the moment. He anticipated the defenders, receiving the cross and hitting a first-time shot straight toward the goal. The shot was so swift that it surpassed the reflexes of the opposing goalkeeper, finding the back of the net and marking Lewandowski's fourth goal of the match in an incredibly short span of time. The stadium came alive with this goal. The crowd erupted into absolute frenzy. The Bayern players rushed to embrace the Polish striker, expressing deep gratitude for having such an exceptional talent on their side. Even Arjen Robben, who was watching the game, couldn't contain his admiration and was visibly impressed with Lewandowski's spectacular performance. After conceding 4 goals, Wolfsburg began to make substitutions in an attempt to calm the game and reduce the humiliation they were facing on the field. But it was to no avail, because just when it seemed Lewandowski had already achieved the impossible, he proved that impossible doesn't exist. At the 59th minute, Bayern unleashed a blistering attack down the right with Götze, who delivered a precise cross into the area. Lewandowski, in a flash of pure genius and impeccable positioning, was exactly in the right place at the right time to receive the pass and execute a spectacular volley toward the goal. The shot was so precise and powerful that the Wolfsburg keeper could only stand still, watching the ball trace a perfect trajectory into the corner of the net, resulting in a stunning goal. At that moment, all the spectators present and the millions watching around the world were astonished, wondering how it was possible for a player to achieve the feat of scoring 5 goals in just 9 minutes of play. The expression on coach Pep Guardiola's face showing that even he could hardly believe the magnitude of the feat he was witnessing. After conceding all these goals, Wolfsburg adopted a defensive and aggressive strategy, especially against Lewandowski. At the 65th minute, he barely touched the ball before he was stopped by a harsh foul. Lewandowski, meanwhile, continued eager to score even more goals. At the 69th minute, Bayern's offensive machine kicked into gear again, this time attacking from the left flank. Alaba, with skill, received a crucial pass inside the box and promptly executed a cross shot, sending the ball back into the melee in the area. Lewandowski, always strategically positioned, captured the pass and, without wasting a second, fired a first-time shot directed precisely at the goal. However, the moment of glory was interrupted by a dramatic play. A Wolfsburg defender, in an act of pure instinct, managed to block the shot practically on the goal line, denying Lewandowski what would have been his 6th incredible goal of the match. Around the 78th minute, Lewandowski had another chance after Bayern intercepted a misguided pass from the opposition defense. Initiating a counterattack, Muller sent a beautiful lob pass to Lewandowski in the area. The Polish star quickly fired a powerful shot towards the goal. However, an extremely alert Wolfsburg defender blocked the shot, thwarting the promising play. The intensity of the game remained until the final whistle, and at the end of the match, Lewandowski was celebrated as the game's great hero. His spectacular entrance in the second half, with Bayern trailing, and his incredible ability to turn the game around by scoring 5 goals in just 9 minutes, is an unprecedented milestone milestone in football. This historic feat not only secured his place in the record books, but also set a standard that may never be surpassed in the Bundesliga, becoming one of the most memorable performances in the history of the league. The day Lewandowski shone on the pitch by nailing a hat trick in the championship final was jaw-dropping. This went down on May 12, 2012, in a face-off between Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich for the big-time German Cup final. Bayern, steered by Jupp Heynckes and the Hot Fab to win, boasted a squad of stars like Neuer, Schweinsteiger, Müller, Ribéry, and Robben. On the flip side, Borussia Dortmund, helmed by the charismatic Jurgen Klopp and pegged as the underdog, still sported rising talents like Gundogan, Hummels, and the young gun Robert Lewandowski, just 23, pumped to make his mark on the world stage. It was more than just a championship final. It was a clash of titans, the perfect stage for Lewandowski to shine and show off his killer football skills. When the ref kicked off the game, it started with a bang. Right in the first 2 minutes, Borussia Dortmund cashed in on a critical error from the opposition, intercepting a sloppy pass and sparking a blazing counterattack with Lewandowski charging ahead, though he was quickly dispossessed. However, the ball still favored Borussia, with Błaszczykowski going one-on-one with the keeper. Instead of taking the shot, he smartly passed it off to Kagawa, who had an open goal ahead and coolly slotted the ball home. That early goal by Borussia Dortmund, scored so early in the match, was wildly celebrated by the squad. They were pumped about taking the lead, knowing how crucial it was to start strong in a showdown that would decide the title. At the 7-minute mark, Bayern regained possession and swiftly organized a sharp counter-attack. Robben pushed forward across the field and delivered a spot-on pass to Gomez, who dashed to meet it inside the box. Yet at the shot moment, the Borussia keeper showcased top-notch agility and anticipation, pulling off a spectacular save. Despite the successful intervention, the keeper ended up injured during the action, needing immediate medical attention, adding an extra layer of tension to the clash. At 22 minutes in, the tension ramped up when Bayern mounted a sharp attack. Ribéry, with his exceptional game vision, whipped a precise pass to Gomez, who was charging into the box. Gomez sped up to meet the ball, but at the critical moment of trying to control it, the Borussia keeper rushed out recklessly, knocking him down with a bold move. The ref, perfectly positioned to watch the play, didn't hesitate to penalize the Borussia keeper with a yellow card for the clear foul. Robben, jersey number 10 and penalty specialist, stepped up for the shot. With the ref's signal, he executed a powerful, well-placed left-footed kick. The execution was flawless. As the keeper leapt to one side, the ball cleverly swerved to the other, nestling into the corner of the net. Bayern's fan crowd went wild, celebrating the goal that not only tied the game, but also ramped up the tension of the clash, promising a fierce fight for the win. On the other side, Lewandowski was subdued in the game, hardly looking like he'd shine with a standout performance that day. The game remained balanced, but at the 39-minute mark, luck started to smile on Borussia Dortmund. Schmelzer, pushing forward on the attack, attempted a long-range shot that more resembled a pass as the ball deflected, found Kagawa. With a brilliant heel flick, Kagawa redirected the ball to Błaszczykowski. Dangerously positioned inside the box, Błaszczykowski tried a daring dribble, but was abruptly brought down by a reckless slide tackle from a defender. The ref, well-positioned and alert, called an indisputable penalty that could change the course of the match. Hummels positioned himself with determination for the kick and executed a low shot directed to the corner. Bayern's keeper, Neuer, anticipated the move well and dove to the correct corner, touching the ball and nearly pulling off a spectacular save, but couldn't stop it from crossing the goal line. The frustration on Neuer's face at failing to save this penalty was clearly visible. Meanwhile, on the opposite field, Borussia Dortmund players and fans erupted in celebration, thrilled to regain the lead on the scoreboard with this crucial goal. Lewandowski, who had been quiet in the game until that point, was eager to make his mark. As the first half was drawing to a close, at the 45th minute, Borussia Dortmund skillfully intercepted an opponent's pass and triggered a lethal counterattack. Lewandowski received a long pass and, under intense defensive pressure, opted to head the ball to Kagawa, strategically moving toward the area to catch the return. When he received the pass back and found himself one-on-one with the opposing keeper, Lewandowski didn't hesitate. With impressive composure, he shot low, the ball cunningly sliding between the legs of the Bayern keeper and shaking the net. Neuer's expression was one of deep embarrassment as he allowed the ball to slip through his legs, a moment he'd surely like to forget. As Neuer lamented, Lewandowski jubilantly celebrated his first goal in the match, and the third for Borussia Dortmund, lifting the euphoria of the fans who saw their team inching closer to clinching the title against a formidable opponent. Shortly thereafter, the referee blew the whistle to start the second half, which began even more intensely. Right at the 48th minute, a critical moment unfolded as Bayern regained the ball and launched a counter-attack. Müller sent a long pass looking for Gomez up front. The Borussia Dortmund keeper, alert to the play, came out of his area and intercepted the pass. Although he initially cleared the danger, the ball ended up with Robin, who quickly tried a new attack passing to Gomez. However, before Gomez could control the ball, he was dispossessed, losing a valuable goal opportunity. Around the 50th minute, Borussia pressed in the opposing defense when it was abruptly stopped by a violent foul by Badstuber, who came in with his studs dangerously high and hit Wojciechowski's head. Due to this risky infringement, Badstuber immediately received a yellow card. Positioned near the area, the foul presented a serious threat to Bayern. As soon as the referee signaled, Gundogan executed a precise and strong shot that flew just wide of the post and out of bounds, nearly changing the score of the game. Meanwhile, Lewandowski, participating little in the plays, wanted to appear more. At the 53rd minute, Borussia Dortmund regained the ball in defense and launched a counter-attack, sending a long pass to Lewandowski up front. The Polish striker, surrounded by opponents, attempted to dribble but ended up losing the ball, which went out of bounds. A few minutes later, Borussia regained the ball in defense and launched another counter-attack with Wojciechowski speeding down the right wing. Approaching the area, he tried to connect a pass to the middle, looking for Lewandowski, who was accompanying the attack. However, the lack of precision in the pass failed to find the Polish striker, resulting in the loss of an excellent opportunity and leaving the team visibly frustrated. But Lewandowski was determined to keep pushing. At the 57th minute, Borussia Dortmund regained possession once again and quickly set up a vigorous counterattack with Kagawa driving the ball through the center. He swiftly passed to Grosskreutz, who was advancing on the left. Finding himself surrounded by opposing defenders, Grosskreutz opted not to risk a direct shot on goal, but instead made a smart play, passing the ball to Lewandowski, who was unmarked on the right. Receiving the pass in a prime position, face-to-face with the opposing goalkeeper, Lewandowski unleashed precise shots toward the goal. The shot was so strong and well-aimed that it bulging the back of the net with impressive force. This second goal by Lewandowski in the match, and the fourth for Borussia Dortmund, set the stadium ablaze, sending players and fans into ecstasy. The team now enjoyed a significant advantage over their opponent in a crucial match, striding confidently towards the conquest of a title in a major championship final. With the comfortable lead, Borussia players began to display their technical skill, like the no-look pass that Gundogan sent to Lewandowski at the 67th minute. Following that, Lewandowski played a 1-2 with Gundogan inside the box, and receiving the ball back and finding himself face-to-face with the keeper, fired a shot. But this time, Neuer was extremely alert and managed to prevent Bayern from conceding another goal. Immediately after this play, Bayern responded with a blistering counter-attack, with Ribéry receiving the ball on the left wing and, upon penetrating the area, crossing the ball to the center. Gomez, who was closely following the play, arrived at the right moment to head the ball towards the goal. However, it was just short of success, hitting the crossbar and keeping the score unchanged to Bayern's frustration. Lewandowski was determined to widen the lead, facing relentless marking. An example of this pressure was the foul he suffered at the 69th minute during an attempt at a counter-attack. Due to this severe infraction, Schweinsteiger received a yellow card as a penalty. As time passed, the situation became increasingly tense and dramatic for Bayern Munich. However, at the 74th minute, a flash of hope shone brightly when Ribéry decided to showcase his genius. Receiving the ball inside the box and surrounded by a crowd of opposing defenders, he didn't hesitate to attempt a spectacular solo play. The French maestro withstood the intense pressure, displaying sublime technical skill to dribble, create space in the congested defense, and finish with a low left-footed shot towards the goal. The opposing goalkeeper stretching to the limit, but Ribéry's shot found exactly the corner of the net, leaving the keeper no chance. This splendid goal by Ribéry reignited hope among the Bayern Munich players and fans. Now, with renewed spirit, they needed to score 2 more goals to tie the match and take the contest to extra time, keeping alive the flame of a dramatic turnaround. But Lewandowski was not about to let that happen. Around the 80th minute of the game, Borussia Dortmund launched a blistering attack when Gundogan slid a precise pass inside the area to Piszczek, the Bayern keeper, trying to advance it to intercept but failed to secure the ball, which continued at Piszczek's feet. Demonstrating a combination of intelligence and skill, Piszczek quickly opted for an audacious chip shot. Initially, the trajectory of the ball didn't seem promising, but it was then that Lewandowski, in a moment of pure instinct, leapt and headed the ball towards the unprotected goal. The ball found the net, marking Lewandowski's 3rd goal of the match. Taken by euphoria, Lewandowski jumped over the barrier and ran towards the fans, waving frantically in celebration. At that moment, the Borussia Dortmund fans exploded with joy, jumping and shouting non-stop. They saw their team establish a 3-goal lead over a formidable opponent in a championship final, practically solidifying the conquest of the title. The atmosphere was electric, with the promise of a crushing victory that that would be remembered for years. The final minutes were intensely dramatic for Bayern Munich, and when the referee finally blew the whistle to end the match, all the Borussia Dortmund players burst into enthusiastic hugs and jumped in celebration of this grand victory. Lewandowski emerged as the game's great hero, with his 3 decisive goals ensuring that Borussia Dortmund triumphed over such a formidable opponent and secured the coveted German Cup. The day Lewandowski bagged 4 goals in a single game and left Cristiano Ronaldo feeling humiliated was absolutely insane. This happened on April 24, 2013, during an epic clash between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund in the first leg of the Champions League semi-finals. Led by Jose Mourinho, Real Madrid was the heavy favorite for the match, boasting a star-studded lineup with legends like Sergio Ramos, Modric, Benzema, Kaká, Ozil, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who was already established as one of the best players in the world at the time. On the other side, Jurgen Klopp's Borussia Dortmund, though considered the underdog, was armed with talents like Hummels, Götze, Gundogan, and a determined 24-year-old Robert Lewandowski, eager to make his mark on the football world. This wasn't just a decisive game, it was a head-to-head showdown between Cristiano Ronaldo and Robert Lewandowski. As soon as the referee blew the whistle to start the game, the intensity was off the charts. In the opening seconds, Cristiano Ronaldo charged forward, dribbling past 2 defenders with flair down the left wing. But in an unlucky moment, he lost control of the ball, and it rolled out for a throw-in. By the 6th minute, Borussia regained possession in midfield and launched a lightning-fast counterattack. Reus, with blistering speed, weaved past several defenders, broke into the penalty area, and unleashed a rocket of a shot toward goal. However, Real Madrid's keeper was on high alert, pulling off a spectacular save to fend off the danger. The drama escalated as the rebound fell near Lewandowski, poised for a deadly strike. He set himself up to unleash another ferocious shot, but at the last moment, a Real Madrid defender heroically intervened, blocking the attempt in a dramatic fashion. Lewandowski seemed determined to double down and extend the lead as quickly as possible. That determination turned into reality in the 7th minute, when Borussia intercepted a pass and orchestrated a swift, intricate attack. With quick and precise passes, the play culminated in Reus delivering a deadly cross into the box. With his predatory instincts and impeccable positioning, Lewandowski was right where he needed to be. He launched himself into a spectacular slide, slotting the ball into the net with style. Lewandowski's early strike gave Borussia a huge boost, igniting the crowd, who erupted in celebration of such high-caliber football. Meanwhile, frustration was written all over the face of Real Madrid's keeper, clearly shaken and disheartened by the defensive lapse that allowed the goal. After the goal, the marking on Lewandowski tightened even more. A clear example was the foul he suffered around 9 minutes in, when Sergio Ramos, in a desperate attempt to stop him, made a rough tackle as the striker pushed forward for another attack. On the other side, Cristiano Ronaldo was itching to level the score. Around 13 minutes, the Portuguese star regained possession and bolted into a fast counterattack, passing to Modric as he approached the box. When Modric tried to control the ball, he was taken down, but the referee ignored the foul, leaving Ronaldo fuming. Go, player! Before you keep watching, don't forget to smash that subscribe button on the channel. By the 22nd minute, Ronaldo kept pressing, and while attempting to start another attack by passing to a teammate, the ball struck an opponent's arm. The referee, positioned close to the play, wasted no time in calling a foul. Despite the long distance from the spot of the infraction, it still posed a significant threat to Borussia Dortmund, given Ronaldo's reputation for turning long-range free kicks into legendary goals. When the referee gave the signal, Ronaldo unleashed a blisteringly powerful shot towards the goal. However, by a hair's breadth, and thanks to a phenomenal save by the Borussia goalkeeper, the Portuguese ace couldn't add another spectacular goal to his tally. On the other end, Lewandowski remained laser-focused on increasing the lead. Around the 32nd minute, Borussia intercepted a pass and launched a counterattack, with Lewandowski exchanging quick passes with a teammate and receiving the ball back inside the box. But as he tried to control it and turn to shoot, he went down after contact with an opponent. Yet the referee decided not to blow the whistle. By the 41st minute, a controversial moment gripped the field when Borussia Dortmund launched a blazing attack down the left lane. Reus, receiving the ball, skillfully dribbled past a defender and, upon entering the box, went down after some physical contact with an opposing player. This contentious moment led Borussia players to demand a penalty, while Real Madrid players insisted that Reus should be booked for diving. Now, it was time for Cristiano Ronaldo to show what he does best. Immediately after the controversial play, Real Madrid wasted no time and capitalized on a critical error by the opposition, triggering an electrifying and lethal counterattack. Higuain, bursting with speed, speed, breezed past the defenders with astonishing agility. As he charged into the box and noticed the goalkeeper rushing out prematurely, Higuain cleverly chose to pass the ball to Cristiano Ronaldo, who was sprinting in parallel at full speed. With the goal wide open and the ball coming his way, Ronaldo simply guided it smoothly into the back of the net, scoring in style. This crucial goal by CR7 echoed through the stadium, bringing the game back to level terms and igniting the atmosphere. Real Madrid players gathered in a collective embrace, celebrating the vital equalizer in the Champions League semi-final, now on hostile turf. On the other side, Hummels, responsible for losing the ball that triggered the counter-attack, was visibly shaken, deeply regretting his crucial mistake in such a decisive moment of the match. Lewandowski came back from halftime with a fiery determination to extend the lead. It didn't take long for him to make his mark. By the 49th minute, Borussia Dortmund orchestrated a brilliant attack down the left flank, dismantling Real Madrid's defense with a series of precise passes. The play reached its peak with a sharp cross into the box, initially cleared by Real Madrid's backline. However, the rebound landed perfectly for Borussia's players, setting up Reus to unleash a powerful strike from outside the area. Fate intervened as the ball flew straight toward Lewandowski, who was strategically positioned inside the penalty area and onside, turning the strike into an accidental but decisive pass. With incredible skill, Lewandowski controlled the ball with his back to the goal, spun quickly, and with his killer instinct fired a precise shot that sending the ball into the back of the net without giving him any chance to react. This spectacular second goal from Lewandowski sent Borussia Dortmund's fans into a frenzy, watching their team take the lead in the Champions League semi-finals against the most feared opponent in the competition. The crowd erupted with joy, celebrating every move of their unstoppable striker and savoring the increasingly real possibility of reaching the grand final. But Lewandowski wasn't done yet. He was hungry for a hat trick. By the 54th minute, Borussia Dortmund launched another sharp attack down the left flank, sending a high cross into the box that Real Madrid's defense promptly cleared. However, the ball fell straight to Schmelzer on the left, who immediately struck it first time, sending it back into the chaos in the box. Once again, Lewandowski showcased his remarkable awareness and positioning, controlling the ball just like before, back to goal, spinning with agility, and firing a shot towards the target, once again beating the goalkeeper and finding the back of the net. This third goal, scored just minutes after his second, and in a strikingly similar fashion, highlighted Lewandowski's extraordinary finishing ability. In the stands, the fans roared with excitement, and Klopp celebrated with sheer joy, grateful to have a player of Lewandowski's caliber on his team. Meanwhile, on the other side, Real Madrid's goalkeeper expressed his frustration and anger, struggling to come to terms with conceding yet another goal to the relentless Polish striker. At 56 minutes, Real Madrid regained possession and launched a counterattack with CR7 charging down the left flank, taking on defenders before passing to Modric. Seeing a gap in the defense, Modric decided to take a shot from outside the box. However, Borussia's goalkeeper was alert and made an easy save. By 59 minutes, Cristiano Ronaldo, even surrounded by two defenders inside the box, skillfully dribbled past both and created space to deliver a dangerous cross into the middle of the area. But it was cleared by the opposing defense. Luck seemed to be against Real Madrid, and at 65 minutes, things got even tougher for them when Borussia launched a blistering attack down the right wing. Just as Reus, strategically positioned, was about to control the ball inside the box, he was bumped from behind by Xabi Alonso, who was sprinting desperately to win the ball. The physical contact sent Reus to the ground, prompting the referee to call a penalty for Borussia Dortmund. Real Madrid players erupted in protest, surrounding the referee and trying to argue that it wasn't a penalty, but he stood firm on his decision and confirmed the foul. This was the perfect moment for Lewandowski to extend the lead and potentially seal the game. The Polish star stepped confidently to the penalty spot, carefully placing the ball and focusing intensely. When the referee signaled, Lewandowski unleashed an incredibly powerful and precise right-footed shot, as the goalkeeper helplessly watching the net ripple. Borussia Dortmund's fourth goal of the match sent the packed stadium into rapturous celebration, leaving fans ecstatic and even more in awe of Lewandowski's masterclass performance. This commanding lead showed that Borussia, the underdogs of the match, were defying all expectations and edging closer to a spot in the Champions League final, overpowering Cristiano Ronaldo's mighty Real Madrid. On the other side, Cristiano Ronaldo was visibly shaken. At 68 minutes, in an effort to turn the game around, Real Madrid launched a counterattack with Cristiano Ronaldo receiving a through ball, leaving him one-on-one with the opposing goalkeeper in a golden opportunity. However, just as Ronaldo prepared to finish, the linesman raised the flag for offside, nullifying the play and deepening Ronaldo's frustration. From the 69th minute onward, Mourinho started making bold changes, bringing on Benzema, Di Maria, and later Kaká in a desperate attempt to turn the game around. However, Mourinho's substitutions seemed futile, as in the 77th minute, Borussia unleashed a devastating attack. Reus, receiving a decisive pass, surged into the box and delivered an elegant chip shot. The finish was pure magic, with the ball gracefully floating over the goalkeeper and landing in the back of the net. But before Reus could begin his celebration, the referee intervened, ruling the goal offside, leaving the stadium in suspense and frustration. Immediately after, Borussia came close to extending their lead again when Lewandowski picked up the ball in attack and unleashed a powerful long-range strike. The Polish star nearly scored his 5th goal of the game, but was denied by a spectacular save from Real Madrid's goalkeeper, who flew through the air to stop what seemed like a certain goal. The final minutes of the game were filled with tension and drama. When the referee finally blew the full-time whistle, Borussia's fans erupted in celebration, cheering for a crucial victory. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo walked off the pitch visibly dejected and humiliated by the crushing defeat. Lewandowski solidified his place as the undisputed hero of the match, making history as the first player to score an incredible 4 goals against Real Madrid in a single Champions League game.